There are a ton of things to accomplish in Genshin Impact, but today we're going over the 5 traps that are slowing you down as a new or mid-tier player in Genshin. So let's get into it, guys. The 5 things you definitely need to avoid doing as you progress through the game. Thanks for spending that time here today. Let's get right into number 1, guys. The thing that you're getting trapped by the most is artifacts. You guys are putting a lot of emphasis in getting to the end game, getting the best artifacts, getting the right sets. If you're rank 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 even, you guys shouldn't really be out there spending your time trying to get the perfect artifact on your characters in Genshin. Honestly, the thing that you're really looking for as you're progressing up through 35/40, you really just need artifacts on your characters that have just attack in the last 3 slots. We're talking about the circlet, the goblet, and the sands. These are the things that you really should be looking for. Just get whatever it is that has attack percent. If you can put a piece together, a 2-piece or a 4-piece, great. But that does not matter where you guys are. You're spending too much time in slowing yourself down with this artifact farming, grinding. You don't need to do all that stuff. Just get these last 3, the sands, the goblet, and the circlet. Get attack percent on them for your main damage dealers. If you're using someone like Barbara who wants some HP, defense style supports, get those. But really, you don't need to focus on all of these set bonuses as you're progressing through the early on stages of Genshin. And yeah, the HR, AR 30, 35, that's still early on. I know it's where the end of where we are right now is. But until you guys can hit 35, maybe even 40, really, for the 5-star versions of these artifacts, you're wasting a lot of time out there in the world of Genshin. This leads us right into our next point. You guys are using your resin incorrectly. Resin is an extremely valuable resource for you guys. This allows you to acquire weapon ascension materials, artifacts, which we just talked about, as well as character ascension materials. The first rule of resin, I'm sure you've heard it, is don't let it cap out. Make sure it's always less than 120. Use it on something. But what you guys need to be using it on as you're progressing through Genshin Impact are weapon ascension materials and character ascension materials. So make sure you're doing the weapon ascension material domain or the talent ascension material domain as well. So we're looking at the Hidden Palace of Lianshan formula for weapon ascension materials, which can be found right here. This rotates every day. It's going to have a different weapon ascension material in there. On the weekends, there will be a day where it will drop all of them. So if you're working on a ton of different weapon ascension materials, you could go in there for all different kinds of weapon types. Maybe you're using a bow and a claymore and a book and a sword. You have like 5 or 6 weapons you're working on. The benefit of the weekend one, even though it's random, you get an extra drop, so that could help you out there. 1 extra drop per time you run that dungeon. But if you're working on a specific weapon, make sure you wait for that weapon ascension material to be in the dungeon before you go blow all your resin on it. Also, talent level up materials. This is going to be a pretty powerful thing for you to do with the Taishan Mansion if you want to level up the talents. Maybe you are rank level 30, 35, and you have the need to go in there and get access to these things. That's a place for you to do there. And then on top of that, make sure that you're doing your lovely, doubly world bosses like the Regis Vines and the Hypostasises. You're going to need a ton of these materials to awaken your characters. Now, there's also other ways to gain access to this stuff, and this leads us into point number 3. You guys are ignoring the Alchemy Table. As you're progressing through the game, you're going to need higher and higher level materials to awaken your character's weapons, to awaken your character's ascension levels. This is going to allow you to do that. Just go to the Alchemy Table and you are able to upgrade your materials needed for these different tasks, for your weapons, for your characters here. You get a 3-to-1 conversion ratio. So the lower level material, you need 3 of it. You can use 3 of those to upgrade it into 1 of the higher tier materials. So if you guys have been exploring the world, you need higher level things, higher level drops from enemies. If you've been constantly, maybe the entire time you've been playing the game, you're 20-25 now, you've destroyed and defeated every enemy on site, but now all of a sudden you need this new higher tier drop. You can go to the Alchemy Table, combine 3 of the old drop. As you can see here, we can make stained masks out of the old damaged masks, 3-to-1. I can go in here and make a bunch of these stained masks right now to utilize and level up my characters' abilities, talents, ascension. Same thing with the weapon ascension materials. You can do that here as well. So make sure that you go in there and you check all of this stuff out. make sure that you are utilizing this because this can give you a nice head start. It is a little bit of a detriment. It is a 3-to-1 ratio, but as you level up your characters and progress them, they're no longer going to need those lower level end materials, and this can save you a lot of time. World rank level up, you don't need to definitely go and farm a whole set of new 30 items. If you've destroyed and gathered and collected 90 of the previous world level stuff, you're free and clear and ready to go, so you can get those extra damage skills, get those extra damage on your characters and your weapons, and progress through the game even fast. Number 4, you guys are focusing on way too many characters in Genshin Impact. Resources can be scarce. Your time is limited. You don't have infinite money in the game. You don't have infinite resin to farm resources for all of your characters. So make your core team, pick your core 4 characters and level them up. And that being said, to go even a little more in depth on that, make sure you're maximizing on whoever your favorite damage dealer is. Put all of your heart and love into that character. Give them your best artifacts. Make sure their weapons level up as high as possible. Level their talents up and make them the creme de la creme on your team. And then have your secondary support type characters. They can be a little bit lower level than you. They can be a little bit less geared than you. They don't really matter as much because they're not doing the bulk of the damage. And as you're progressing through Genshin, it's really about who can do the most damage and progress the fastest. So make sure your weapons are up to speed. Make sure you've done everything we've talked about before in this video to get your easy access to your highest ascension available, highest talent point level available, highest character and weapon maximum level and damage available. That's going to get you through the game as fast as possible, get you destroying those enemies as quickly as possible, and just letting you progress at a nice easy breezy pace through the world of Genshin Impact. The final point we're going to be talking about, guys, is you just ignoring the world. If you're looking for a red shiny dot on everything you need to do out in the world of Genshin Impact, you are going to be missing a lot. There is a ton of hidden little nuanced tiny puzzles and quests and chests and world activities for you to discover in your own terms. Not everything in this game, in fact, most of it is not going to have a nice little exclamation point over it telling you what to do or telling you that there is something to do there. Make sure that you're using your elemental vision to unlock secrets. Make sure you can see breakable rocks. There's a ton of different puzzles in each region, from gathering earth elemental energy from geodes and putting them in lanterns to lighting random fires and torches in place. If you see something that looks a little bit out of place in the world of Genshin Impact, that probably means that there's something for you to get there, a treasure chest for you to have pop up and explore for doing a mini puzzle correctly that you might not even know and you will easily walk right by. So remember, keep your eyes peeled. Are there 3 torches and only 2 of them are lit and one's unlit? Light that 3rd torch. Is there a rock wall that looks kind of off? So use your elemental vision, see if you can break that down. There's a ton of stuff for you guys to do out there, a lot of puzzles and palaces for you to unlock and venture into, and the game will not tell you that it's there. You have to figure it out and use your own senses to find and explore these areas. So those are the 5 traps that are slowing you guys down in Genshin Impact. To recap, make sure you're leveling up your equipment as well as your most powerful characters. Make sure that they're ascended. Spend your resin correctly. Look forward to the future. Don't try to make your character better equipment-wise as you're leveling up. Make your character and spend your time and gather the resources so you can further increase and maximize the level and ascensions of your highest damage dealing character. Make sure you're using the right artifacts, attack percent, explore the world, open those eyes, see what all you can see down there. And if you do that, you guys are going to be headed in the right direction in Genshin, getting the most out of there. And obviously, number 1, play the game to have fun. This is just a tip for you if you want that little extra boost to make sure that you're actually spending your time in the game most effectively. With that said, guys, take care out there, and I'll see you guys in the next one.